Just keep me as Les. That's how you referred me earlier. I'm okay with
Okay,
that.
Les. Or can I call you Big Cheese?
By all means, do call me whatever you like.
All right, I'm gonna call you Big Cheese. That's a lot. That's a lot funnier. But how you doing, man? Are you comfortable sharing with where you're from? I'm from Florida
Yeah.
myself.
Same here. I'm from Florida as well.
Oh, you're from Florida as well.
Hmm.
Nice. North or south?
I grew up in the north, but I live in south now.
Oh, nice. I'm from Southwest Florida.
Okay, okay. So that's like Naples area.
Yeah, around there.
Okay,
But really, it was born in Fort Myers. But yeah, Naples area, you could say.
okay, okay. So let's go ahead and discuss about immigrants. You were claiming that that this healthcare is being provided.
Sorry, you broke out for a second. Yeah, I was claiming that illegal immigrants get Medicaid.
Mhm. So yeah, they were getting it from a specific state issue type of Medicaid system, which isn't federal. Yes, they
It is
do
funded
receive.
by the
They,
federal government.
you
You can
can
look
say
it
it's
up on your computer.
so. Like I put in the chat there, California provides almost 15% of federal funding. And when you mentioned, oh, but they always get bailed out, that bailout was due to natural disasters. And as we know here in Florida, we always get that federal funding from FEMA anytime any hurricane does occur. So that
Yeah,
is where
but the
that bailout
bailout was
system is coming
also
from.
for the Medi-Cal, which
No, no,
was
no, it wasn't for
healthcare for
that.
illegal
It's
immigrants.
for
Sorry?
the it was for the fires and the COVID-19.
Yeah, no, they had that too, but they also had a $3.8 billion bailout for Medi-Cal.
Yeah, but they provide more in funding than what they get the bailout for. So the difference in there is that they're already providing enough funding for it.
Well, I mean, if they're constantly asking the federal government for bailouts because they're going over a state budget, I mean, they have a state budget, right?
Mhm.
And once they run out of money, what do they have to do?
Yeah, but you're trying to say that it's specifically for immigrants. It's for anybody that's low income in that state.
Illegal
So,
immigrant. It's not. It's yeah. It's for anyone, of course, but illegal immigrants can get it.
but illegal immigrants do also pay taxes. They have
But
they
they
apply
don't.
to
They're a deficit to the
billions of
tax
dollars.
system. Like I explained, if you have one child going to public school, that costs $15,000 to the tax system. Not to mention, once again, if they're using Medi-Cal, that means they're probably in the lowest tax bracket, and they might not even be making enough to actually pay taxes because there's a standard $15,000 tax deduction, and if you're making if you're making less than that, you're not
But
really paying any
the same could be
taxes.
said for the red states. So they're very dependent on federal funding, SSI, disability, and federal funding aid in
Florida
general.
has their surplus.
Louisiana, Mississippi, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Arkansas have the
Yeah,
most dependent on federal funding. And those are
yeah,
purely
but
red
I
states.
mean,
And those are
also
states that you know
California is
that
dependent on
illegals
federal
aren't welcome
funding.
there.
They had to have a bailout for their Medi-Cal system.
But why are you not addressing the part of all these red states that are the most
I mean,
dependent on
yeah,
federal
cool. Red
funding?
states have to get money have to get bailouts too. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, I'll say it all the time. But
And
the
also
way
that you're
that the
saying that
system is set up,
you're
the
trying to
way
claim
the
that these
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the way that you're trying to set these illegals is that, oh, they don't provide anything for the United States, which is incorrect. They provide a
Well,
lot for the
no,
United
if you
States.
look up studies, they actually are a deficit to the taxpayer system.
No, no,
I'm not trying to
I'm not
sound
saying
like
in
I'm
that
against
way.
American citizens, but I mean, to be fair, if you're an American citizen, you make the median income. If you have a child that's going to school, you're making $50,000 a year. You are a deficit to the tax system. You're not adding more money than
I'm
you're
not talking
taking
about
from the
this tax
system.
system in the way of benefit. I'm talking in an aspect of the economy. So if it wasn't for the illegals, which farmers take advantage of lower wages for illegals, because
Exactly. That's why we should deport them and have them come in legally, or like Trump is trying to do. We should, help the illegal
but
immigrants become citizens.
you deny them the health care when they receive these type of chemicals on top of them. That the US
Well, they
takes
shouldn't be in the
advantage of them.
country to begin with. I
They shouldn't
mean,
be there because the billionaires are taking them in.
the billionaires aren't taking them in, dude. The
Are
billionaire
taking them.
Democrats want these illegal immigrants to come in, just like you said, so they can underpay them in the
But
farms.
your boy Elon just said that he says Americans are too dumb and he wants to open the system for legal immigrants to
When
come
did
in.
he? Well, yeah, legal immigrants. He doesn't want to show
So
his face
why is it
here.
that these legal immigrants? Why do you say this straight up right away? Nothing, because Americans won't
Legal
work these
immigrants
type of jobs.
versus illegal
Americans
immigrants.
won't
First
work these
off, one's
jobs.
ignoring the federal law. Second
Americans.
off, have you read any of the studies about how illegal immigrants are a deficit? I just told you how a lot of people that are normal taxpayers, if you're making the median salary in the United States, $40,000, $45,000, $50,000 a year, and you are, paying taxes, and you have two children that are going to public school, you're not providing a surplus to the tax system. You're providing a deficit. Do you realize the difference between surplus and deficit? Yes, they can
But
be
just like
paying
it's
taxes,
the
but
same
at
could
the
be said
same
for a
time,
regular
they can be
citizen.
taking more money from the
The
system.
same could be said for someone that's in Florida, for example, in those areas of Opalaca or like those northern areas where,
Yes, but they're legal citizens. That's why.
but
That's why they
they
deserve.
provide
If they're a
nothing to,
deficit for, that's fine. They're legal citizens. They were
but they don't
born here. They
provide
have
as
legal
much for the
immigration
economy for an
status.
illegal does.
Sorry.
They don't provide as much to the economy as an illegal does. That person
No,
up
you're
there in
wrong.
their
Legal citizens provide more for the economy.
somebody okay, a red state.
Dude, let me
I'm
let
gonna
me
tell you this.
clarify
Hold up.
something.
A
Let's
red
talk
state
about the
redneck
tax system. Paid over
off
150,000 a year.
A red state redneck is living off SSI is not providing anything of value to the U.S.
Okay, like I said, they're legal citizens.
But they
They're
provide
legal
nothing of value.
citizens.
But you don't want to accept that they don't provide
The
anything of
majority of
value.
let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk slowly here. Let me talk for a minute or
Mhm.
two, and then I'll let you talk.
Okay, go ahead.
So let's talk about this first. Who's the majority of people that are paying 80 to 90% of the taxes in the country? People that make over 100 grand, 150 grand a year are paying roughly 80 to 90% of the taxes, or roughly around that number. So
Because
that
of the
means
population. Because
no,
we
it's
have
it's
more
not
legal
because of the
citizens. We
population,
have
it's
more
because
legal
of the
citizens than
deficit. I
illegals.
explained it to you. If you're
We
making
have more legal
$50,000
citizens.
a year, you're paying
You see,
taxes, you're getting all your children are going to public school, you are a deficit. Do you realize deficit versus surplus? Deficit is when you're taking more than you're giving. Surplus is when you're giving more than you're taking. Once again, the people that are actually providing surplus to the economy are people that are making over 100 grand, 150 grand a year, or maybe you're making 80 grand a year. You're not using any government programs, you don't have any children in school. Okay, you're providing a surplus to the economy. But to say illegal immigrants, which most of them, would you say illegal immigrants come in here for a better life and to escape their economic situations? Is that fair to say?
that's fair to say, yes.
Okay, then all these illegals that are coming in here, they are poor, so they need government assistance. They need help, and they're
They don't get
taking from
government
the
assistance. They
economy.
don't get
And is
government
it fair to
assistance.
say? Is it
They
fair to
don't get
say that a
government
lot of these
assistance.
illegal immigrants
You're confusing refugee status and TPS with illegal immigrants. Those are two different
doesn't matter
studies.
if they're if
It
they're
is
here for
because
asylum or they're an illegal
no,
immigrant?
that you have to
Asylum is a
understand the
legal immigrant,
difference.
by the way.
You
I'm
have to
talking
understand the
about
difference.
illegals specifically.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but you said illegals receive benefits for the government. They don't. They
Yes,
have an
they
ID.
do.
No, they don't.
Look up
They have
Medi-Cal. Did you look
that's a
up
California.
Medi-Cal?
That's a state. That's a California state. You're talking
Yeah,
about
there's over
okay. That's
15 states that provide welfare with free
okay. Other than
insurance.
Medi-Cal, which is California, and we were explaining that California provides the most of
Okay,
federal aid.
California,
Who? What else?
Washington,
Okay. What
Colorado,
program does
New
Washington
York,
have? What
New
program does Washington
Jersey.
have?
I have a whole entire list if you want me to go over it.
You're
I have a
just naming
screenshot of
Democratic
it.
states, but you're not naming the programs of what they're specifically done. Like how you named with California, which already proved that California
I
pays
mean, do I
more
have to
in
go through
federal.
every single insurance
I'll
care
wait.
in
Go
every
ahead and
single state
go for
that
Washington.
provides?
I'll wait. Go ahead and go for Washington.
Go ahead for Washington. It might be only for kids, but I can look up Washington. But by the way, health insurance isn't the only thing that they're receiving. By the way, we've seen in New York City, they're receiving 4 and 5 star hotels. We already know that they're receiving all kinds of other benefits, X, Y, and Z. And you're sitting here telling me that illegal immigrants provide more to the taxpayer systems than Americans? Aren't you already established that most illegal immigrants that are coming into this country are poor? And I just told you who pays the majority of the taxes. People making over 100, 150K a year are paying 80 to 90% of the taxes. Just
Yes,
because in a
because so most people here in the United States are legal. Look at the
yeah,
percentage.
exactly.
Look at the percentage wise. How many illegals compared to
It's not
U.S.
even about
citizens?
percentage wise. It's about
Yep,
tax
it is always about
brackets.
percentage wise because
It's
obviously
about
if
it's
you have
about
more
tax
people
brackets and total
paying more of
income.
the same amount of
When you make
taxes,
200
if
grand
you
a
have
year,
more
you can
people,
be paying
if
like 20
okay,
twenty thousand dollars in
look, I
taxes a
let you
year.
speak, man. Look,
More sometimes.
if you
30,
have more people
40,000.
if you have more people, okay, let's just say a number. I'm not gonna. This number may be wrong. Let's say 15% of people in the U.S. are illegals, and the rest of the percentage are U.S. citizens. Obviously, the person with the highest percentage is going to be paying more. Like if you look at it
I'm
objectively,
not
is going to be
talking about
paying more in
percentage wise. I'm
taxes
talking about total amount of physical money per person. Per person. When you're making over 150 grand a year, you are paying more in taxes than
because of
the
the
illegal
wages that they
immigrant that's
receive.
making 30
The
grand a
illegal
year.
immigrant is not receiving the same wages as someone that is documented or that is someone who's a U.S. citizen.
They are receiving a lot of benefits.
They're
I'm not
no,
here
it's
to
not.
argue
You're
who's receiving
okay.
more
Again,
benefits or not.
you're confusing TPS and Cubans and Venezuelans with illegal immigrants.
I'm talking about illegal immigrants here. You don't have to constantly say I'm confusing who this and
You
that.
are because you're saying that they receive benefits. There's a big difference. TPS and Cuban refugees receive benefits. They
Do
receive
I really
SSI.
need to show this again?
I
Do
used
I
to
need to
work at
show
SSI. They
this?
receive it.
Here, let's take a look here.
Illegal immigrants do not
Undocumented
receive the benefits.
immigrants. Undocumented immigrants are receiving, children are receiving health care, adults are receiving full
This is
coverage of
Medi-Cal. I asked you
Medi-Cal.
to go look for Washington or a different state. You keep saying the California, and California
Okay, I
provides the
can look
most
up
federal
Washington
taxes.
too. What's Washington's insurance for illegal aliens? Let's see. It only takes one search away. I mean, you've already admitted that other states are getting insurance. It says Washington coverage. It's called Washington Health Plan Finder. Anyone living in Washington State can buy health insurance. You do not need U.S. citizenship, et cetera, et cetera. There's the alien emergency. First off, there's the alien emergency medical system, which gives anyone that has emergency care, broken arm. This is in all 50 states, by the way. All 50 states. If you have a broken arm, you're pregnant, et cetera, that's free health care for immigrants.
What was it? What was the system you called again? It was Health Plan Finder.
Yeah, but that's actually for anyone. I think that's just
Yeah,
the public system. That's not actually Medicare. But let me find the one that's Medicare. I'm not 100% sure they have one, but they have some kind of
but you see, like you said these things. You
program.
said Washington. You said it right after I said, "Hey,
Okay,
give me
let's see
another
if
one."
they
But
do.
you're giving me false information. You can't
I'm
just
looking
say
it up,
things that are
man. Let me look it
no,
up.
no,
You said I could look it up.
no. But you just said, "Oh,
Well,
Washington
you're typing
receive."
in your computer. Look it up and
Oh no,
prove
I
me
typed in
wrong.
what you told me. That's all I'm doing.
Here, let's see what we can find. Let's see what states provide illegal immigrants health care through Medicaid. Once again, you still have not disproven what I said. People that are making over 150,000, which majority, all of them are pretty much U.S. citizens. Because if you're making that much money, why wouldn't you just, get a legal citizenship?
Well, okay. There's two things that you said there. First of all, I already explained that the most people that are making over 150,000 are U.S. citizens. And second of all, when you're saying, "Oh, why don't they get the citizenship right away?" Like these few that are making 150,000 and they're not citizens, which is rare. You don't understand the process of how long that process is to receive that status compared to, like, again, TPS coming from Cuba, which has that whole act maybe because of the communism, and Venezuela as well. Those
I'm not
two
talking
and
about any
Haitian.
legal citizens, buddy.
Well, because you have to understand the process is longer for illegal immigrants when they're trying to do it the right way, and the majority are doing the right way. And when
If you enter this country illegally, you're not trying to do it the right way.
so, what's the difference between a
Washington gives illegal SNAP and Medicaid. I mean, I'm looking right here. I don't see what the specific program is called, but it gives me a link to the website, healthinsurance.org. Wait, that's for Illinois. Illinois does it as well, but let me look for Washington here. State-funded coverage for undocumented
state funded?
adults.
We just discussed that about states' rights, didn't we? That states
Yeah,
should
but illegal
have the
immigrants should
right to
not
do
be
what they
getting
want,
health care.
just like how
Aren't
Florida
the
should have the
Democrats
right.
claiming that's against the Constitution? Oh, yeah, that's right, they are. They're
Claiming
saying
what?
it's against federal law and it's against the Constitution.
What is against the Constitution? Can you repeat that for me?
I mean, I'm not the one that is claiming this. I haven't really looked into
No,
the
no, no. Repeat.
Constitution for
No,
this.
I didn't hear you on what you said. What was against the Constitution?
The Democrats on the news, it's that
Mm-hmm.
Jeffries fella, he is claiming that illegal immigrants don't get free health care because that's against, constitutional rights or some shit like that.
Yeah, but what part of the Constitution is that illegal?
I don't know. You should ask him. Maybe you can look it up and
But
tell
you're the
us,
one
or
making
maybe
the
I can look it
claim.
up.
You're the one making the claim.
I mean, he made the claim. I'm just telling you what
I
he
know, but
said, a
you're
Democrat.
repeating that claim.
Yeah, aren't you a Democrat? So you should be, supporting his
I'm not
claim.
party affiliated.
Well, you probably voted for Harris. True or false?
True.
Okay, there you go. Then you're a Democrat. You can say you're not party
I voted for
affiliated,
Trump in
but you're
2018,
voting for Democrats.
and I voted for Trump for the previous term.
I don't know if I believe that. Possibly.
I'm from Florida, man. How you not gonna believe that part?
I don't know, man. There's Democrats in Florida. Medicaid is federal and state funded.
Yeah, we
I
know
mean,
that.
we've already established that
Okay, you
California is
don't know, but
giving
you can't. You can
illegal
see
immigrants health
how I
care.
asked you to look up something else other than what California provides,
I mean, I looked it up. I just don't know what it's called.
because you cannot find it. It's hard either because it's
Okay,
purely state
well, let me
funded.
look it up. I'll try to. I'll ask right here, ChatGPT, exactly what's the name of the program. What's the name of the program? Because I'm sure it'll tell me. I mean, it's giving me sources for it, but it's not telling me the name of it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Loading, loading, loading. It is called the Apple Health Expansion in California.
Again, you gave me California.
I mean, not California, Washington. Sorry, I didn't mean to say California. It's called the Apple Health Expansion. In Washington State, the program providing state funded health insurance for undocumented adults is called Apple Health Expansion.
Is
The
it a
initiative offers Medicaid equivalent to benefits to low income residents.
Medicaid equivalent? It's not Medicaid.
Okay, well, that's not what we're arguing about.
Yes,
Do
we are.
illegal
You were just
immigrants.
talking about your taxpayers going to Medicaid, and it literally says Medicaid equivalent, meaning it's not Medicaid.
Let's see if it is Medicaid. Let's ask it again. So you're semantics. You're gonna argue about semantics.
I
This
am going to
entire
argue about
you just
what you
claimed
bring up. I'm
Washington
going to
doesn't give
argue of
illegal immigrants
I'm
health
going to
care. You were
argue of
proven
what you bring
wrong.
up. I'm going to argue what you bring up. I'm just waiting here for you to bring up things.
I didn't say that that it was maybe I did. I'll have to rewatch it, but I don't think I said that Washington was Medicaid. I said California was Medicaid, which that part is true.
And I said that, and then I provided the information that California provides the most in federal taxes.
And I said they had to get a bailout from the federal government. And also,
And
even if they do,
then I said
let's go with your theory
the
for a second.
it's
Even
not a
if they
theory,
do
it's in the
pay the
facts.
most in taxes, should illegal immigrants be put above middle class, hardworking Americans for health insurance? Yes or no?
They're not, because only California has that system.
Yeah, in California they are because people that are
I
working
know
their asses
what I
off, they
said
don't
was this:
qualify for
they're
this. They
not
don't
put
make
above
enough money
American
to get
citizens.
their
They're
own
not
health
being put above
insurance.
American citizens, even though they do pay taxpayer money, even though they pay
First
taxes.
off, they
Sorry,
don't pay as much taxes. We have already debunked your theory there. They're already a deficit
just
for the
like some
tax
people from
system.
Florida that
Second
just
off, you
receive
said it's only
SSI
in
and don't pay as
California.
much taxes because they don't
So
work a
only in
job.
California illegal immigrants are put above
Okay,
American citizens? That's interesting.
no, they
Well, I
pay
just told you it's in
taxes and they should
Washington
receive
as
those
well.
benefits of taxes. If you pay taxes, you should receive the benefit that those taxes pay for.
They don't pay 20. You know how much this
Okay, if you're gonna bring up the
Medi-Cal,
amount of
you know how
taxes,
much
I could
Medi-Cal
tell you right now,
costs?
someone from Florida living
Does how much does
in
Medi-Cal
bumfuck
cost per
Florida,
year?
huh?
Do you
No,
have
no, no,
any idea?
you're
Take a
bringing up
guess.
you're bringing in semantics as well of
Fifteen to
saying
$20,000 a year. These
you
illegal
won't let me
immigrants are
speak.
not paying $15,000 to $20,000 a year. And
You won't let me speak.
Apple Health is Washington State for Medicaid. So actually, you're proven wrong again.
Look, what you're trying to bring up is, hey, oh, these people don't pay as much taxes as the rest of us. But
Yes, they don't pay
we could say
enough
the
to
same
get
thing
free
of
health
people. We
insurance.
could say the same thing about people in Arkansas, in Alaska, in Florida. These people that
Once
live in the
again, they're legal
countryside
citizens. They didn't break the law.
and illegal citizens are paid taxes, and they're trying to get
They
their
don't
citizenship
pay.
the correct.
They're a deficit. They're in deficit.
Just like
They
I just
take
gave you
more
the
in benefits
example.
than they
I
pay in
just gave you the
taxes.
example. I just gave you the same example. They pay deficit as well. These people that live off
These
SSI
are legal citizens. You're really saying that illegal, you're
and they
basically
provide nothing.
prioritizing illegal immigrants over
And they
American
provide nothing to
citizens.
the economy because all
Let
they
me
do
answer this
is
question.
receive from
Very simple.
SSI.
Answer this question.
No, no,
Should
you won't
illegal
address that part.
immigrants
Why won't you address that part?
address what part?
That these United States citizens that all they do is receive
Yeah,
SSI and they're red states and they provide
that's a
nothing
very
for the
small
economy. It
minority.
is
I
not.
already addressed that.
It's
They're
not. It's
legal.
majority of red
They're
states.
legal. They
Yeah,
deserve
and
it.
they provide nothing
They've
for the
paid more
economy.
taxes their entire life than this immigrant that just
No,
came
no,
into the country did.
you know well that there's some people in Florida that receive SSI that are up in these towns that don't do anything. They don't provide
Okay,
anything for
they're
the economy,
legal.
and they
They
provide no,
are legal.
and they pay taxes, correct? Just like illegal immigrants, they pay
Illegal.
taxes and
First
illegal.
off, they didn't pay as much taxes. They haven't paid taxes their entire
Okay,
life because they
we
just
just
came into the
explained that part.
country.
We just
Second
explained
off,
that part.
what did you explain? You're getting
I
proven wrong.
No, I explained to you. Oh, you're saying, oh, illegal immigrants don't pay as much taxes as American citizens overall. But you're comparing a different type of population to the majority. So
No,
let's
I'm not
compare the
comparing
same.
population. I'm comparing
No,
income
I'm
earners. People that are paying the
okay.
majority of the
Income earners. Income.
taxes
Wait, you
are
said income
people
earners.
making over
Income.
hundred and
You said
fifty thousand
income
dollars a
earners.
year.
Wait, you said
Most illegal immigrants are not making $150,000 a year. They're not paying very very many taxes. They're paying $3,000 or $4,000 a year. They're getting Medi-Cali, which is costing $20,000 a year in taxpayer benefits. They're putting their kids in public schools, which is costing another $15,000 a year. They're getting food stamps, which is costing another $15,000 a year. So far, we're up to $65,000 in deficit just off the government programs they're using. And
they're
just answer this
also
very
paying.
simple question.
So wait, okay. If you're
Just
paying
answer this
taxes,
very
should you
simple
not
question.
be
This
able to enjoy the benefits of what your taxes pay?
No, because they're illegal. They
No.
came into the country
So they shouldn't be
illegally.
charging them taxes when they're coming here.
A lot of them aren't paying
That's
taxes.
incorrect. They have an ITN number. You're telling me the IRS is not going to get their money?
I mean, yes, the IRS doesn't get their money from some American
That's a
citizens.
lie.
They don't pay their
They
taxes, some
literally they
Americans.
that's how they get everybody. You
So
even
here,
notice when
ask
these
answer this question. Answer this question. Do you believe middle class Americans that are making $30,000, $40,000 a year
Mhm.
should be prioritized over illegal immigrants that are making 15, 16, $17,000 a year?
There
Yes or
is no
no?
prioritization. Okay, so when you're working a job,
Answer the
they
question. Yes or
provide you
no?
free healthcare. When you're working a job, they provide you free healthcare.
Depends on the job.
Yes, and if you're an illegal immigrant, no job is going to provide you free healthcare.
That's because
That
you're illegal. You
that
shouldn't
they're
be in the
paying, so they
country in the
shouldn't be
first
paying
place.
taxes. They
Just
shouldn't be paying
answer the
taxes.
question.
They
You
shouldn't be
can't
paying
answer the
taxes.
question because it's going to debunk everything
No,
that you're
because
saying.
you keep avoiding it and trying to ask a certain
No,
question, but I'm
you're
giving you
avoiding
all
the
these points.
question.
I'm giving
You're
you all
avoiding the
these points
question.
that you
So
won't
you're telling
address.
me illegal immigrants that are making $18,000 a year should be prioritized for insurance before Americans
I
that are
answered your
making
question. I
$30,000 a
already
year?
answered your question.
No,
There
it's a
is
yes
no
or no question.
no.
Yes or no?
You're trying to say, oh, I believe that immigrants should be more than no. I'm not going to say that. I say everybody that's a
It's a yes
taxpayer
or no. Do
should
you
have.
think illegal
It's not a
immigrants
yes
should
or no
get health
question.
care?
You're trying to make it a yes or no question. It is not a yes or no
Just
question.
just answer it in any shape
I'm
or
not going
form.
to answer because you're trying to force me
You're
into a yes or
not
no
going to
question.
answer it because that's exactly what you believe in. You
Because
believe
again,
in
I believe
prioritizing
everyone
illegal
that's a
immigrants
taxpayer should
that
have the
make
benefits of what they
$18,000 a
pay
year
taxes
above
for.
American citizens that make $35,000 a year. It's very simple. That's exactly what you're supporting. That's exactly what you believe. You believe the illegal alien that's making $18,000 a year, that's paying $1,500, $2,000 a year in taxes, deserves health insurance more than the illegal American citizen that's been paying taxes since he was 15 years old. State taxes, income taxes, taxes when he goes to the grocery store. You're telling me that the illegal
So
immigrant
okay,
deserves
wait.
their
You're
health
bringing up
care.
these things that all illegals also do. You said taxes in grocery store. Illegals pay taxes in everybody pays
Who's been
taxes.
paying longer in the system? Who's paid more total taxes? The illegal that just came here 2 years ago, or the American that's been paying these taxes since they started purchasing things and since they've gotten their first job?
The illegals pay the amount of taxes just like everybody else. They have an ITN number. That's the
They
purpose.
don't make it the same as much as everyone else.
Just
They
like
are
how
in
people,
deficit. When they're getting these free healthcare
just like people
programs,
on SSI that don't even have a job and they receive
okay, it
SSI.
doesn't matter. These are
It does
American
matter. You see
citizens. They
how
should
you
also get off
completely
their ass
you
and get a
come
job.
yeah, and
And
the
we should
majority of
also
people,
cut their
the
benefits.
majority,
We should
we
cut their
should cut
benefits.
the
If they're
SSI.
healthy
We
and
should.
they
I
don't want to
believe in
work,
that.
we should cut their benefits. There we go. I addressed your thing. If they're lazy, they don't want to get off their ass, they're
They
24,
should. The
25 years
SSI
old.
should be cut. If you're saying that SSI should be cut off from the board
No,
for everyone,
if they're
for
disabled, of
everyone,
course they can't work. Of course they can't work. But when we're talking about illegals or
SSI
American
and disability are
citizens, you
two
have a
different things.
choice. It's very simple. Can we agree that there's a finite amount of people that are going to get Medicaid and free health insurance? Yes or no?
You just gave me an example of
Just answer the
California.
question.
You
Are
gave me
there
the
a
example of
finite
California.
amount of people that are going to get Medicaid and Medicare? Yes or no?
The big beautiful bill was cutting most of the cutting a lot of the
It
budget
was
for
cutting the
Medicaid.
budget for the illegal immigrants, but you won't answer this question because it's
It's cutting for
disproving
Medicaid in
everything you
general.
stand for. Can you answer the question?
You're cut
Are there a finite, there's only a certain amount of people that are going to get Medicaid? Yes or no?
according to the
Because we can't
budget
give it to
cut. Yeah,
everyone. Do you
to the
agree with
budget cuts.
this?
Yeah.
Do you agree we can't give Medicaid to everyone? Yes or no?
Oh, I don't agree with you in that statement. No, I
So
believe
you
that
think
healthcare
everyone
should
can
be.
give people Medicaid, even though we're in
If you pay
$40
taxes,
trillion dollars in debt?
if you pay taxes, yes. Yeah. How about we take some for the Department of Defense?
I mean, that's defending our country from foreign invaders? No, I don't think
Who
so.
is invading the U.S. right now?
No one, but we're under,
How?
attack.
When was the last
Many
time?
countries are saying they're threatening us, et cetera, et cetera.
When was the last time they got
But
invaded?
once again, can you answer the question?
But okay,
Do
I
you
just gave you
agree?
I gave you a solution. When was the last time it got invaded?
Based on federal taxes, state taxes, we're never going to get free insurance. So just throw that out of your head right now. Are there based on state budgets, based on federal budgets?
We
There's a
could budget
budget.
anything, but we're putting
There's
most of
a
it in the
budget.
Department of
That means
Defense.
only a
Yeah,
certain amount of
when the
people are going to
major
get
when
Medicaid. Yes or no?
a majority of it goes to the Department of Defense and
Okay,
ICE,
there you
we
go.
could make
Every single talking point I have, you just ignore it. You don't
because
answer
I'm
the
giving you a
question
solution
because
to
it's
your
proving you
problem and
wrong.
you won't address it.
No, it's not a solution that's going to happen. First off, we
Yeah,
need
if
to
you take
defend our
money from the
country. We
Department of
need a
Defense because
strong
we're not
military.
even in an active war.
We
We're not
need a
in an
strong
active war.
military. It doesn't matter. We can't let we can't take away from our military. First off, these are people's jobs. Second off, we need to make our military strong. Do you want a weak military? It sounds like it.
No,
But
when
you're
you
just
add
throwing
more
up
money to the Department of
theoreticals.
Defense,
You're throwing up theoretical solutions that are never going to actually happen. Can we
no,
talk
I'm
about
putting no,
reality for a
don't act like
second?
it doesn't happen because we literally added more budget to the Department of
Yeah,
Defense,
of
so it
course,
can
because we
happen.
need more
It can
defense
happen
for our country. Our
No,
military
we
has been
don't.
getting smaller and smaller under Joe Biden. He cut a lot of military programs. But can you say this? There's a certain budget from the federal government and the state government for health insurance. There's only a certain amount of people that are
Biden
going to get
provided a lot of
Medicaid.
benefits for the VA.
Sorry, we're not talking about the VA. Stay on the
No, 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 no,
topic
no.
for
You keep
illegal
switching
immigrants.
topics. But all I gave you was this: the solution is cut some from the Department of Defense.
That's not going to happen. We need a strong military. What if we go into war and then you're going to say, "Oh,
The
we shouldn't have cut the military budget."
the last war we
But
went
you're
to, we
not talking
lost.
about the topic
The
here.
last
You
war we
know
went to, we
for a
lost.
fact
Even when we
that
increased
only
our
a certain
department,
amount of people, based on budgets, can get Medicaid. And you know that it's giving illegal immigrants Medicaid, which in turn is not prioritizing Americans. Tell me how it's not. Tell me why it's not.
because this
Prioritizing
is a
illegals instead
because
of Americans.
what you provided was a state only thing. It's not federal.
No, Medi-Cali is
And I just
is
said
a federal
multiple,
funded and state funded
and
program.
I already addressed that part where California provides the most federal funding
No,
in
they
all
don't.
the
60% of it comes from the federal government.
who pays the
Once
federal government?
again,
Who pays
once
the federal
again,
government?
once again, even
Who
if they, who
pays?
cares if they're paying the most taxes?
It
This is
does care. It does
prioritizing
matter.
illegal immigrants over American citizens. There's no disputing that. There's no throwing that fact away. This is the fact. There's only a set budget for federal and state budget for Medicaid for
Because the
people.
big
And
beautiful
if
bill
it's
cut the
going
budget
towards
to
illegal
Medicaid.
immigrants, that means
Be-
legal citizens will not get health insurance. Why does an illegal alien that just came in here 2 years ago deserve health insurance more than the person that's been living here 35 years that can barely get by with their $30,000 a year salary? Tell me why. Go ahead. Tell me why.
because they're paying taxes.
Because they paid 1 year of taxes, $2,000. No, that's not a reason why.
Everyone that provides taxes should have the benefits of those
We
taxes.
don't live in a universal healthcare country. Does your brain
Clearly,
not
we don't.
comprehend this
I know
part?
we don't. I know we don't. The United States is built that way. They rather spend money on the Department of Defense and going to war for war
We
that was
rather protect
unnecessary.
our country.
Yeah, because going for weapons of mass destruction was protecting our country.
I mean, that wasn't under the current administration. That was a. I
The
mean, are you
whole
talking?
war in Afghanistan was because of that.
Yeah, that was under Obama, your Democrat
No, it
president.
wasn't. It was under Bush.
It was under Bush, and some of it went into Obama, I believe.
Yeah, because we were still in war.
Okay, so. And what about Biden's Afghanistan pullout? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, he pulled us out because if not, we've been there for years
And
wasting
he
money.
let billions of dollars of weapons of mass destruction in the country that we could have sold. If you want to talk about taking money away from the military, why did Biden take the billions of
like
dollars of
America has a
weapons
problem with
that he
selling
left in
guns.
the
Don't
Middle
act
East?
don't act like the United States has a problem selling guns.
That was Biden's
I know, but you're
decision.
saying, but
Military advisors told him. He said, "Don't
you
leave."
you
The
just said,
military
oh, that
advisors
could have been
told
weapons
Biden
that we
not
could
to
have
leave
sold.
those weapons of
Okay,
mass destruction in Afghanistan.
you won't let me
Did they
say. Wait,
not? They did.
I'm trying to address your points and you talk over me. Look, you said, oh, we could have used those guns to sell them. Don't act like the United States has ability to sell weapons to any other country. We sell them
We
to
do.
Israel.
We just signed a deal this year to sell a bunch
Yeah.
of weapons to the EU.
So what is this claim about? Oh, we left weapons, we could have sold it.
We
pulled
left
out.
billions of
We
dollars
pulled
in
out.
Afghanistan thanks
The
to
whole point,
thanks to President Biden.
the whole thing is we pulled out. We were in there for no reason. We didn't need to be
Okay,
there.
people died, and we left billions of dollars of weapons that are now being used to destroy
Who
other
died?
countries in the
Where did
Middle
it
East.
die? Where people die more when we were in there or not?
I mean, no one was dying. No one died for 2 years because President Trump told the leader that he has his address. He sent him a picture
That's a
of his
lie.
fucking
That's a
house, and
lie.
he
That's
said,
a lie.
he said, "Oh, if you do shit, we're gonna blow you the fuck up." And he didn't
That's
do anything for like I believe two
that's a lie.
years.
Don't act like when we were in Afghanistan, soldiers didn't die. That's a lie.
No, they did die, but they didn't die
Yeah.
for 2 years after President
So
Trump threatened the
you
commander.
would have preferred that we stayed there and let more
No,
people
I
die.
prefer that we take the billions of dollars of mass destruction weapons and retrieve them, put them on planes, and do the pull out slowly and properly so troops don't have to die, and so they don't have to use these weapons of mass destruction against other countries in the Middle
No
East.
other president wanted to pull out. Trump didn't even do the
Uh,
pull out.
you're wrong. Trump was the one that signed the initial plan for the
You can
pullout.
sign whatever, but when you don't do the pull out, you don't do the pull out.
His term ended. It was a re-election. He made the plan for the pullout. Biden ignored the plan and he left the weapons of mass destruction in Afghanistan, and troops died.
And troops were dying in this nonsense of a war. We did not need to be
But
there.
can we at least agree to this that illegal immigrants are getting health care? I think we've already established that.
And
You do agree
specifically
with that.
in specifically in California, I'll agree with that with you.
Washington, Colorado, all the
We
places I
already
told you.
explained. No. We already debated that part where it's
I
state
showed
funded.
you. I told you what it was
Okay.
called.
Look, you won't let me speak. You said California is the one that's federal funded and state funded. Washington State is state funded.
I don't care if it doesn't really matter if it's federal
You
or
do
state.
care
Those are
because
taxpayer
you
dollars.
do care because MAGA is all about states' rights.
I mean, states' rights. What about the federal law? States' rights are to deport illegal immigrants. That's literally,
States'
you
rights
know,
states' rights are the ability to create whatever they law where it fits best for their state. That's what MAGA believes.
every state doesn't matter if they create a law. They're under the federal law
Yeah, but MAGA
oversees the state's
believes that
laws.
states should have more power over their own laws compared to federal. That was what the whole
Sorry,
Civil War and
you kind of
you
hit
guys
out. I couldn't hear you. You cut out for a second.
what I was saying is this. MAGA prefers more power to states than federal.
And the federal, when does MAGA say that? Federal law over precedes all states' laws. If we're telling MAGA prefers deportations, how about that? MAGA prefers deporting all these illegal immigrants out of the freaking country. That's what we prefer. That's what MAGA prefers. That's the main reason Trump won the presidency, so we can get rid of
Mhm.
shit like this.
Yes, but you're acting like such amount of federal funding is going to these illegals. First of all, we already
It
established
is. We've already
Okay,
provided
I
that.
keep going over
60%
this,
of the funding for Medi-Cal is federal government funding.
and again, California provides the most in funding to the federal government.
It doesn't matter. They're
It does
prioritizing
matter. Why do you
illegal
say that?
immigrants
Why do you say
over
it doesn't
legal
matter? Why do you say it doesn't
citizens.
matter?
Because we've already established it's prioritizing. There's only an $8 billion budget every year. That means there's only a certain amount of budget that can go
That
towards the
California
Medi-Cal
provides the
program.
most out of all states.
It's only it's prioritizing illegal immigrants. There's an $8
Yeah, but
billion
you won't
budget. We
accept the
can't
fact
give
that
it to
California
American
provides
citizens
most of
because
the federal
illegals are
funding.
getting it.
You won't.
Can you realize that? American citizens are not getting health care in California because illegal immigrants are getting it. Yes or yes. That's the only options here. There's only an $8 billion budget. By the way, you can just turn off the camera button if you want.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to show your
appreciate it.
face. There you go.
Thank
So
you.
let's do a hypothetical scenario. If you
Wait,
were shown
I'm gonna stop you because
evidence,
I do have to hop off. I don't want to
all
have
right,
you
man.
continue on. Hey, I
Okay,
appreciate the conversation. See you
I
guys.
appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya. What's not true at all? If you guys have any questions or comments, you can drop some super chats. I'm fully up to hear it. I mean, yeah, obviously, if he doesn't want to show his face, that shows how much he stands behind what he says. He wouldn't answer any of my questions about, the $8 billion budget and how certain American citizens won't even be able to, be part of this Medi-Cal program because illegal immigrants are getting it, and it's obviously prioritizing illegal immigrants. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There's only an $8 billion budget. If some of this budget is going towards giving illegal immigrants health care, then obviously illegal immigrants can't get it. I mean, mean, it's really that simple. We can sit here and say all day that, oh, everyone should get free health care. That's not happening. There's a budget. Rage quit. Possibly. If you guys have any questions, comments, drop some super chats. Let me know. 60% of this is funded by the state government. I mean, not the state government, the federal government. 40% of it's funded by the state government. Smash that like and subscribe button. I gotta sneeze. Hold on, guys. 62% of it is funded by the federal government. Oopsies, oopsies. That's not for sale, J Money. That's a weird request. You're sus, man. You're sus. Anyway, I'm gonna get the other guest on stream now, and we'll hop off here. But I appreciate everyone coming on. We're gonna be back in probably a couple minutes here. No more than 5 minutes this time. No more than 5 minutes. I think it was 15 minutes last time. But I'll be back in 5 minutes. We're gonna get another guest on here. But that was an interesting discussion. But I still don't understand. There's an $8 billion budget. If it prioritizes, he didn't want to answer the question. I asked him, who is prioritized? The illegal immigrant making $18,000 a year, or the American citizen making $35,000 a year that cannot afford a healthcare program? And he wouldn't answer that very, very simple question. But I'm going to restart the live either solo, or I'll see if my friend would want to get on here. We'll see. Hold on, guys. Hold the door.